This is a story from when I was about 5 years old. I had a friend who lived next door, and one day we were playing in my room and we decided to make a scientific concoction, a scientific experiment. So we took all of my mother's shampoos and nail varnishes and perfumes and we poured them all into the bath. She came in about half an hour later and went absolutely crazy. She sent my friend home and I wasn't allowed to go out for a whole week afterwards.
When I was younger, my sister and I had dolls. We're twins and we both loved our dolls. One day when Kim went to school, she left her doll and I decided to cut the hair off her doll with a pair of scissors. When she came back from school, she was very angry and she didn't speak to me for months.
Well, when I was young, I used to live on a road with several other children who lived around. And there was a friend across the road called David who had a big plum tree in his garden. Lots of big, fat, juicy plums used to come every year. And we quickly found out that if you put one of these plums on a stick, you could throw the plum quite a long way and quite hard. Anyway, also in the road where I lived, there was an old man who was always complaining about us cycling on the pavement and just generally making a noise like children do. I don't think he liked children very much. Anyway, one day we went over to his house when he was out and we got lots and lots of plums with our sticks and threw them at his windows, and all his windows were covered in plums and plum juice, and it was a big mess. And this was a revenge for us, for him telling us off all the time. Anyway, it was a silly idea because we lived about 100 yards away from this man, and he came out of his house one day when my father was there, and he told him, and my father took me inside and told me off.
It was when we were living in this house in London and my parents had painted the wall in my sister and my bedroom, and my sister had just learned to write and I wrote her name on the wall in her handwriting so that my parents thought that she'd done it, and she got into trouble with my parents. My mother was very angry and I never told anybody that I did it.
I remember one winter there was a lot of snow and my friends and I decided to make some snowballs. But this time we made them extra special because we put rocks in the snowballs. And then we decided that we would throw the snowballs at the passing cars at the road nearby. And we threw snowballs at one car in particular and it broke the window of the car. Guy pulled over, got out of his car, and he started chasing us, and we ran, had to hop fences and go through neighbors' backyards, and finally we got away.